Good morning. I'm Michael Despain, Fire Chief with Lincoln Fire and Rescue. Today we're here to report on activities over the last 2 days, over the July 4th holiday season. So kind of in summary, we're happy to report that we saw essentially no significant structure fires over the last 2 days, which is kind of an anomaly for Lincoln, so we were happy with that. We did see a significant number of calls, including one person that had a significant injury due to a firework. That continues a trend that we've seen of 4 consecutive years of people having significant bodily injury due to firework. For July 4th, we had about 88 calls for service during that 24-hour period, including one house that was damaged by a firework. It was not fire, but damaged by impact of a firework. We had about 15 minor fires, and those are dumpster fires, trash bin fires, including some grass fires that were threatening structures, but crews were able to get on scene quickly and extinguish that before there was damage. We saw about 56 medical calls during that time. A higher portion than normal were due to respiratory issues, probably due to the fireworks and atmospheric conditions. We did see a number of calls for service that occurred in a short amount of time, but overall, the calls for service were not necessarily out of normal for a July 4th season. We do have some information from Chief Fire Inspector Moody regarding the ability to turn in some fireworks later today, so I'll invite Chief Moody to come up and give that presentation, and then we'll answer questions. Okay, you want to give your story here?
Good morning. This is like the 4th year that we've provided the service of accepting unused and unwanted fireworks. Fireworks deteriorate over time, and so we give citizens a chance to get rid of them, get them out of the house, get them out of the garage, bring them down to Oak Lake parking lot, and we'll receive those and dispose of them properly. We'll also take unused and unwanted ammunition, so we urge people to bring that in as well, and we'll get rid of it for you. So, thank you.
Okay, any questions? Yes, William.
You said that they've been following the trend with injuries suffered from fireworks.
Yeah, so this is the 4th consecutive year where we've seen a significant injury due to a firework. So, a limb, body part damage to the point where significant, maybe even life-threatening injury has occurred. And so, even though that's 4 consecutive years, we've had other years where we've had that, but talking with the chief inspector, it's one of the trends we would like to see broken next year if possible.
How many injuries in total did you guys respond to fireworks?
So it might take another day or so before we have those actual injuries, because sometimes the injuries don't necessarily get reported to Lincoln Fire and Rescue and they'll show up to the ER. So we get a different stat from the hospitals on the back end. So we don't have those exact numbers right now as far as how many burn injuries or firework injuries, although there were some. We don't have the total yet. We just know the number of medical calls, but not the nature of all those calls. Yeah, unfortunately, the only thing I can say is that in this case, that the person that was impacted was not involved with fireworks at all. They were just an innocent bystander. And so that's the case. That's kind of really the sad part, was they were just minding their own business in the neighborhood and got hit by a firework that caused the damage. So we don't have that yet, but we would tell you it'd be significantly lower than years past because we did not have a significant structure fire during those 2 days.
Now, when you talk about the increase in the disturbance calls, is there like a particular behavior that you're seeing that's not safe, that people are calling in more often, like something that people are doing that's more reckless or risky than maybe in years past that you're seeing?
I would say the trend looks pretty normal as most 4th of July. What we do see is that we expect that when 4th of July falls on a Thursday, this is just historical record, what we find is it's a little busier over the following days through the weekend. And so whereas if it falls on a Friday or Saturday, you're busy for 2 nights or 3 nights, right now we expect to be busy for at least 4. So just the way that 4th of July falls. So, and again, I think the most significant trend we saw was a few more calls than usual for respiratory issues.
Overall, the lack of structure fire and the lack of damage caused was a big positive.
Yeah, we were very pleased with that. We thought with this many day, and we're not done with the holiday weekend, if you will, yet. So we're cautiously optimistic that the worst of our risk is typically the third and the fourth.